Hello everybody, this is Student Car. Welcome back to another video. So, I'm driving again to work, and as I've stated in videos before, I am recording my drives to work and everywhere that I go to. So, been coming up with a few concepts for the server, and I might dedicate this week to working on the New Bern Avenue expansion, which will ultimately feature New Bern Avenue throughout the Raleigh server, or not the Raleigh server, but the Raleigh portion of the map. For the majority of time, there does have to be work that has to go into developing the Raleigh area better, and with detail. Obviously, the main streets and that sort of thing. So it'll be nice to know that I will be able to go in and fix up a few areas that need detailing. It's very essential, but it's also important to finish off the Raleigh area in the server before I head on to working on adding the other city. And it's important to better know that we are still in the almost beta but playtest version of a MileDrive RDU, which was previously better known as MileDrive Raleigh NC, or for its project name when I first started working on the project, MileDrive Central North Carolina. It was the name of the initial project. But obviously this week I'm gonna invest time in working on road lines that need to be added, certain roads that haven't been marked. I'm gonna work especially in conjunction with developing all these areas and having just a large part of development and planning when it comes down to better furthering development within such areas. And I can't fucking see shit. Thank you. You're a big fucking help. So yeah, MileDrive RDU is it's growing a lot. Like I've said in other videos, it's growing a lot. It's been like the longest project I've ever worked on in terms of recording the results and recording development. MileDrive RDU is like my main focus right now. In terms of developing the Charlotte server, which there's been a lot of talk about developing, the Charlotte server for like about a few months now, ever since the first creation of MileDrive RDU. It's always been the plan to develop that project and start it and have some sort of start to it, but due to me not fully completing the skyline of Raleigh, North Carolina, and not yet starting the development of Durham, which adding the city of Durham to the MileDrive RDU roadblock server, which is what I'm referring to, it's going to be a rather interesting project because in my personal opinion, I feel like Durham, North Carolina doesn't really contain very much in terms of the Department of Luxuries and really just anything that would be labeled as a decent skyline. So yeah, I've been in close thoughts of wanting to add the city of Durham, not wanting to add it, but I figured since we already have the city of Raleigh in the server, might as well have the city of Durham. I mean, the name of the server speaks for itself. MileDrive RDU. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to, go in closely. Once I fully develop the interstates or the surrounding interstates within the Wake County area, Raleigh NC, that sort of thing. And it'll definitely be completed once all the surrounding highway exits to Raleigh NC are added, and the close belt lines and the North Carolina / Interstate 540 is added to the server. As I am a big highway guy and a big road guy, working on my Roblox games, my games usually consist of only vehicle simulation, law enforcement, police, fire, EMS, mailman, Department of Transportation, Uber driver or taxi driver, that sort of thing, is going to be integrated within the server of in terms of role play within a city environment. For right now, the server that I am currently working on, as you've seen videos of my work, only features players 16 and up, and the only reason I have it that way is because I don't want any predators or anyone with bad intentions talking to younger audiences. I would hate to get into a legal dispute or more or less having my game be shut down due to perverted minds not respecting other younger audiences' boundaries within the confines of my server. I am very passionate about this project. I plan to keep on investing more time into it as much as I can. For as long as I keep the job that I have, gives me a flexible schedule to work on the server. And yeah, that's pretty much as I can say about MileDrive RDU. But in terms of everything else, nothing really too new has arisen in my life since the accident that I got into. So yeah, I mean, luckily I survived it. I didn't get hurt, or I didn't have to be in the hospital for too long or anything. I mean, I didn't get hurt. The other person didn't get hurt. But yeah, kind of a life learning lesson, I would say. I mean, I would have never gone into the accident that I got into unless I didn't go out that day to PetSmart to buy a 5-gallon tank. And I'd been looking to get a 5-gallon tank for like the longest time, because I did first start off with a 2.5-gallon tank. Since I am a bit of an aquarist myself, I do like taking care of fish, freshwater fish or whatever. And I started getting into it, because I started getting videos on my TikTok, and the algorithm usually always just introduces you into new things you wouldn't even have thought of earlier in the day, or more or less the day before. So yeah, like right now I think I currently have like a 55-gallon tank, and then a 40-gallon under the stand that I have the 55-gallon, a 40-gallon under it, and then I have a 2.5-gallon that I got for shrimp keeping, and then I got a 5-gallon that I also got recently, the day that the other person in the accident had hit me. Like, my only plans that day were just to get home, set up the 10-gallon, well, not the 5-gallon, the 5-gallon tank, and then just be home and not have to worry about anything else. But sometimes life has other plans, and just gotta learn to accept the reality, you know. But yeah, been using this project of, this Roblox project to further